Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Nate Caywood. I am a Los Angeles-based cinematographer, and today we're talking about the must-have light you need for interior bedroom night scenes. So I'm prepping for a film this week where two characters are talking in a bedroom at night, and I just wanted to look at how some other people did it to see what's the best way for me to do it, and I think I've found something in common for a lot of them, and it seems like sort of a contemporary trick of how to do this. So let's take a look. Okay, so here we are. We are in the images. So let's look at this. This film is Creed 3. Okay, so I remember taking a workshop not that long ago, like a cinematography workshop here based in Los Angeles, and there was a very successful horror cinematographer who was hosting the workshop. And he said something that I thought was really interesting that has really stuck with me, which is if you want things to look dark, put something bright in the frame. Think about that again. So if you want things to look dark, put something bright in the frame, which I was like, wow, that blew my mind. So I think this is something that's really interesting to look at really here. Okay, so we got a practical lights here, right? And we got a practical light here. Now, who is sleeping fully asleep at nighttime and have lights on? I don't know, but people do it, I guess. So, but the more important light that we've got going on is this overhead light. Like, what's going on? There's this hard light on the sheets. It's filling in texture and all that sort of stuff. We see some shape on our dude's face here, right? Like, we've got this light. There's clearly a light that's happening right here that's just blasting him from above. And it's like, well, what's the motivation for this light? Is there a skylight directly above and it's just moonlight? I mean, I don't know. Like, it has a blue cast. That's like the question that we're asking, right? But the thing is, the reason why you want this light is because it gives depth and texture to the really dark spots in your frame. You know, like you can see and feel the texture of these sheets because this light is on. If you didn't have this light, it would be so pitch black here, you know? Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so this is the Haunting on Hill House season 1, I believe. Okay, so once again, I just really want to bring it. We're talking about the overhead light. Like, you want an overhead light above your character who's in bed. Look, you've got a hard light coming in here, texture, 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 texture. Great, giving an edge to her to pop her out from the background. Love all of that, right? Really building texture here. You get to see hard light on the barefoot. Man, love this, right? But if you didn't have this overhead light, which is casting light here, she would be completely silhouetted. It would be so dark you wouldn't be able to see anything. So I just want to point this out. Like, look at this under her nose light. Boom, you can tell that there's a light directly above her head. Overhead light. Now, I've worked under cinematographers before that a lot of times they'll achieve this by putting like a light mat directly above the bed. And then what we would do is we would take like a 6x silk, like a full silk, and basically what we would do is we would pin it and we would double lap it underneath the light like this, right? This is the 6x. We're clipping it here with 1-inch clamps, 2-inch clamps, so that the light is coming through here. And then it's hitting the 6x diffusion silk, and then it's spreading it out for it to be even softer so that you just feel the light in the frame, right? Okay, let's go to one more. All right, this is an image from Hannibal season 1. Again, look at this. This is the thing that I'm trying to do with this series that I'm trying to do for myself, which is like if I'm breaking down how other cinematographers are shooting setups, I can collect a bunch of quick-fired keys that allow me to navigate how to do this quickly, right? So, like, look at this. 2 lights, at least. Maybe 3. Probably 3 lights. Hard light coming directly in through this window, right? Okay, what is that doing? That's creating these hard edges to give us texture. And look, right here in his skin. Like, we know that a hard light is blasting through there. Great. Looks like there's a light coming through here to give this little texture and depth on the windows over there. And then what do we think? Oh, guys. Big, soft, overhead light. Because otherwise, like, how is this happening? How are you getting this right here? Do you see the hard light right there versus this soft ambient light over here? Like, if that wasn't there, it would just be this hard edge of light, and we wouldn't be able to see the texture. We wouldn't see his face. We wouldn't see any of the textures in the pillow and all that sort of stuff. So if you want to make things look dark, you have to light them. I know, seems counterintuitive, right? Okay, this is X. We all know this Ty West film. Again, look at this. Hard light hitting the shoulder, coming through the window. Almost the exact same setup as Hannibal. Look, hard light hitting her right here. Blue cast light hitting her in the head. Hard light. What do they got? Like an HMI outside the window? Maybe. I don't know. Right? But then I think the thing that's important is like, look at this. This isn't even that soft of a softbox. Look, she's got highlights all over her skin. So we know there's some sort of fixture going on over here to bring this level up on her. So you can see her face. You can see all of this stuff that's happening. Look, you can see the fall off in her skin right there. If we didn't have that overhead light, again, it would be as dark as this back here. She would be so dark. That would be the same level. We have the window illuminated, and then this is what her skin tone looks here. No, you're not going to be able to see anything. So, guys, overhead lights. Okay, we're going to go to one last one here. I think this is an image from The Boys in the Boat. This is a great image because look at all the texture and depth that you're getting in this, right? These pops, all that stuff is popping. Leading line, so you're leading off of the light. Like you're going right here, right? You're like, oh, that's hot. Like you're looking like, oh, that's a lamp, but we know what lamps are. So it's not like you're like, oh, wow, I have to discover that. So you're like, okay, great. That's creating this edge light on her, which is really beautiful. But then you can see here, like, look at all this blue light. What is this? A skylight? Again, do people just have skylights in their house? I don't know, but you know what we have to do is we got to build a softbox to go above them, to shoot down here, to shoot at this level here, because that's what's giving you this hot spot right there on her face. That's what's giving you all this texture right here, and it's what's giving you this fall off into this darkness here, so that we can actually see what's going on. If you didn't have this overhead light, this eye you can't see, right? And it's like you kind of want to see her face and the texture in her skin. Like that's what we're looking at here. Okay, great. I'm trying to keep these shorter because last time it ran a little bit long. So I only chose 5 images today, but just to recap, if your character is asleep in the scene, don't be afraid to just have tungsten lights on in the background. Look, Creed 3 right here. Look, Boys in the Boat. They don't mind. They're just like lights in their room on at all time. If you don't want to do that, maybe have a hard moonlight come in to shape your character, right? So that's sort of 2 options that were created. You're seeing interior slugline, interior bedroom, nighttime. You're like, okay, great. I'm already formulating these things. Like some of the things that you want. You want the window that is illuminated on the far side of your character, right? So the moonlight's coming in here. Like honestly, let's re-look at this scene here for a second from Hannibal and ask ourselves the question, like, why is this so hot and this is not? Like, what's the practical reason? So are the filmmakers saying that there is a light out here that's motivating this and this is not moonlight? I don't know. And we would never notice it. Like, as an audience, you would never think about that. But the thing is like, well, we as technicians need to be thinking about that, which is like, okay, so you have a hard light coming through here to create all this, right? And then you're making the choice that light is not going to be as hot because you're like, okay, well, what's it going to be blasting on? If you did light this window as hot as you did this window, then you're going to be just lighting this back wall, basically. Like, you don't want to do that. You want to just light the character for our eyes to go there immediately. So I think that's something to take into consideration, too. Where are your windows that you're lighting moonlight inside or justifying it if you're choosing hard light? If you're choosing tungsten light, you're all good, and just put an overhead light in there. The moral of the story is no matter which way you decide to go, whether you want to bring moonlight in from the window or whether you want to have tungsten practical lights play while people are sleeping, you need to have some sort of overhead light to just fill in the shadows and bring up the ambient level of the room, because otherwise you're just not going to see anything. And I will leave you with this parting advice that keeps ringing in my head all the time when I'm thinking about stuff like this. If you want things to look dark, put something bright in the frame. And now I see that everywhere. I can't stop thinking about it. So Okay, I think that's all for today because, again, I really don't want these to go too long, and this is a very simple concept. Super straightforward. One light over the bed. That's all you got to do. Whether it's a light mat, a tube, whatever. Just soften it up, and you're good. Okay, guys, thank you so much for sticking around and watching all this sort of stuff. I am getting pretty excited about doing these. I think I'm learning quite a lot, like, because even just the 15 minutes of analyzing the images makes me see stuff that I'm like, oh, whoa, I should consider that. And hopefully it's helping you guys too. My whole goal with this is to build a community of like-minded individuals who like talking about cinematography and lighting breakdowns and all that sort of stuff. And so please leave some comments below. Like, it really helps out the channel. Like and subscribe. Obviously, those are important, but engagement's really great too. So if there are any lighting setups that you've been interested in or you want to talk about, or any particular techniques in cinematography, let me know and we'll talk about it. I'll see if I can do a breakdown, and if I don't have the answers, like, we'll try and discover it together. Okay, great. Thanks so much, guys. Speak soon. Cheers.